Hi, everybody. Hope everyone's doing okay. I think this is the first time I'm actually right on time to a live stream. Like I was on the dot at 12. So I'm going to YouTube as well so I can. Hola! Hola, hermanito. My brother's in the house. I'm going to YouTube as well so I can use your comments. Hold on, I think I can do this. Okay. Yes. Hola, hermanito. How's everybody doing today? I hope everyone is doing great. It's very hot here, so we have close to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like almost 30 degrees Celsius, and it's gonna rain. So it's one of those humid days. Hi, Kim. How are you? How's the weather in Denmark? It's very gray here today, but it's hot. So I would say the summer is here. The summer is upon us. So I actually wanted to use this live stream. Well, first of all, because I intend on doing a live stream every month. Just I want this to become a routine. So, and I think the best way to do this is I asked on my community a while back, when would it work, when it would be better for you guys, and most people said that the vast majority of people, I think it was like 70% of the people, said better on the weekend. So yeah, so it's always going to be on a Saturday, and it's going to be the third Saturday. Is the third Saturday? I don't have, do I have a someone tell me if it's today's the third Saturday. My intention is to do it always on the same week, on the same Saturday of the month. So in June, I think it's going to be June 11th or June 10th, that Saturday. So Kim is saying it's great. The temperature is 20 degrees. So that's actually a little bit cooler than it is here. This weather is already too hot to run. I went for a run this morning and I came back. It's the first time really, even during the half marathon last weekend, I don't think I sweat during the half marathon as much as I sweat today. So it was like damp and humid and just very nasty. So I'm glad that it was just an easy run. So I see people are logging in right now. So if you can post, I know some people don't have a YouTube account. I received a couple emails recently from people saying that they watch my videos, but they're not subscribed and they can't post on YouTube because they don't have YouTube accounts. So if that's the case, you can always email me, or you can find me on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, I am real I run things. So I'll put it right here in the chat right now. Not writing this correctly. Run things on Instagram. Or if you would rather send me an email, you can always email me. And this info is always on my videos, like in the description box, it's always there. So those are the other ways that you can connect with me if you wish to do so. Again, because I didn't realize that people who don't have a YouTube ID, like a YouTube account, I didn't realize you guys can't post and comment. And yeah, so that's another way that you can connect with me. So now that we have people, for those of you who can post, let me know in the comments below where you are located, which part of the globe you're located. Now I know Victor, my brother, he's in Madrid, in Spain. Kim is in Denmark, outside of Roskilde, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if you're still there, or if you're in a different place this weekend. And then we have other people. If you guys want to comment where you are watching this from, that would be lovely. So I have started training for Wineglass, and Wineglass is October 1st. So I know that a lot of you guys have been wondering if I was giving up on my dream of qualifying for Boston. I'm not giving up. It's just that I think it's going to take me probably a little bit longer, or maybe not. Maybe I can qualify in Wineglass. You never know. I think I have a great base right now, but we'll see. I was really tired, especially after my attempt at going under 2 hours and a half marathon after April Fools. I was really tired already there, but then I continued running, and I probably should have just not run any more half marathons, to be honest with you. But I had fun doing it, so I'm not gonna complain. It's it's always good to run races because it's just, I don't know, it keeps you sharp. I think it gets you that adrenaline kicking on the mornings that you have to drive to the race and get ready and pay attention to your carb loading that week before and all of that. So okay, so Rebecca, she's from South Carolina. So it's getting hotter there. Where in South Carolina? I have to say, I've only been once to South Carolina and I drove through it. So I don't think I've ever, no, I drove through South Carolina once. So it's a big state. So I'm curious, where in South Carolina? Oh, okay. So with Kim, his daughter is living in right around Roskilde, but you're not. Okay. I got that, my bad. I thought you were living near Roskilde. I don't think I missed anybody else. So did you run this morning, Rebecca, in the heat? Who ran today? I did run today. Who ran today? So I wanted to share with you a little bit about, again, the plan, and I have the plan. So this is my first week training. It's really not training proper. So these first 4 weeks in the plan, we're just going to be letting the body recover. So there's not going to be a lot of intensity on any of these runs. There's no intensity really. The only thing is that we have a 10K time trial, and we're going to use that. And by we, I mean Coach Paul, my coach, the runner here on YouTube, and his channel is always linked in the description box. So after the 10K time trial, we're going to use those times to plot paces for like intervals and tempo and things like that. So Rebecca is saying, okay, I clicked on it. She ran yesterday and you biked. Are you training for a triathlon? My friend Ginger, I don't know if you guys, I trained with her for Atlantic City Marathon last year. She's doing the New Jersey Triathlon. It's June 3rd. So my plan was to go cheer on her, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to do it because it's my son is going with his girlfriend to the prom. So she's still in high school. So, and it's that same day. So I think it's going to be too hectic, but I wish I could find a way to make both things happen. Go cheer Ginger on the New Jersey Triathlon and also, go, like pay attention to my son getting dressed and the pictures and all that. I really don't want to miss that, even though his prom was last year. This is a second opportunity of taking more pictures. Hi, Mr. Jamson. Are you in Switzerland? You're not in Switzerland, right? You're back home, I think. So Kim is saying, I got a challenge from your daughter yesterday. She wants me to run another half marathon in 2025. You totally can do it. I mean, it's 2 years away. So which half marathon? Is it any like famous, quote unquote, famous one like Copenhagen? Or I think Copenhagen, the marathon is this weekend, I think. Copenhagen Marathon. I think it's tomorrow. Right? I saw something on the internet. It will be my last half marathon for now. Yes, because your knee was not cooperating too much. Yeah, injuries are, and the knees especially. Lately, I have been doing a lot more strength training, and my knees, they don't hurt, but they make weird noises, which they didn't used to happen. But now when I do lunges and like squats, sometimes every so often my knees go like, it's a weird noise. It's like, I don't know. It's post a comment if that happens to you guys. It's just, it's never happened to me. But now my knees are making noises. Rebecca is saying, I'm not triathlon level and I'm not a swimmer. I'm not triathlon level either. I would love to do a triathlon. I love swimming. It's something I really enjoy. Oh, look at who's here. April. I thought you were gonna be out. Well, not yes, out and about. Um, I'm glad you could say good afternoon. And I'm sorry for your losses. Okay. I have a thing that I need to send you in the mail. So be on the lookout for that. I'll probably send it today. It's on my kitchen counter and I keep forgetting to actually put it in the mail. So okay, the cartilage in Kim's left knee is torn. And that's a biggie. I mean, cartilage is, it's like, yeah, they're hard to heal. And yeah, do you need surgery? Will you ever need surgery? Because I thought that was the only real way to fix cartilage. So April's saying, due to weather, we were unable to get my husband in his wheelchair for the celebration of life. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad your husband is feeling a little bit better to start using the, to start walking with help, but walking. It just, I'm hoping he goes back to somewhat more of his normal self soon. So Kim is saying he can get one, like CAN, like you are able to get one. And are you going to? Like you want to share? I don't know that. That might be too much information. Oh, so now he's saying, so I have to run with the pain. So maybe he meant can't. That's probably it. So I'm not going to pop the whole training plan because there's a method to the madness and I don't want to give away the secret sauce of Paul's plan, obviously. Not that he said that I couldn't, but yeah, I just don't want to give away all the sauce. But let me see if I can find here. Plan, and I can generally tell you what we're gonna do these next. Let me see. I think it's 4 weeks. Okay, so he sent me a plan that goes till Sunday the 4th, which is great, actually. Yeah. So we're gonna do the time trial, the 10K time trial on the 21st. And then basically what's going to happen right now is we're trying to rebuild strength again right now with a plan. So this week is there's a little bit of ramp up. So there's a total of 18 miles for this week that I'm on right now. Next week goes up to 23 weeks to 23 miles, sorry. And then we have our usual interval training on Tuesday. And then pretty much everything is easy. Yeah. So he's giving me a break. So I'm going to continue running. But there's really in the next in the next 4 weeks. So from now till the 4th, we have the 10K time trial and 2 interval workouts. That's it. Everything else is easy peasy. Yeah. Easy breezy cover girl, like the commercial. So I am excited to start training for Wineglass. I am just excited to get back on like doing long runs again and yeah, hitting the road. The type of run that I enjoy the most, and it's always been the case, it's the long runs, guys. Leave me a comment. Let me know what's your favorite type of run? Like, do you do running hills or do intervals or long runs? Because my favorite definitely is long runs, like easy long runs. Favorite. I love getting out there and just knowing that I'm not gonna come back in 3 hours. Mr. Jemison did 4 by 2 kilometers tempo run. Too hot. So did you do it, or because you said DNF, which means did not finish? Did you manage to do the 4 by 2? 4 by 2 is a lot. I mean, that's 8 kilometers total plus the cool down in between, like the rest in between. It's a lot. Warm up and cool down at the end. That's long. Yeah. How many miles or kilometers? How many kilometers do you run per week, Mr. Johnson? Secret sauce, invested in chili sauce. Maybe. Okay, so now someone is gonna give you, this is awesome, a tip for for my crackling knees. For your knee crackling sounds, back off from lunges for the time being, as it requires a lot of hip stability. So to do with squats and leg press. That's actually a good. I don't do that many lunges though, to be honest. I do some, and it's interesting because they are depending on the lunge. Like if I go like front lunges, they crack. They do that sound more than if I go backwards. So if I go back, yeah. I wonder if I'm getting old and I have a little bit of arthritis in the knees or something. I mean, what could be it too? But yeah, you're right. I probably should back away, stay away from the lunges. So my brother, I knew this. He likes the long runs like me. So yeah, it's in our blood. Eastern Germson, this is a surprise. This comes as a surprise to me. You say my favorite is an easy short run. Very cool. I thought you were going to say, intervals or long intervals or something. You couldn't finish it. Okay, so you did 3 by 4. Oh, wow. So that's even, see, if I had to do 4 by 2, I wouldn't do 3 by 4 because that's a lot. I mean, I think it's more intense, right? I don't know if I'm understanding this correctly though, because if you're saying that's less, I'm not understanding it correctly. Okay, oops. What did I do here? Okay. So, and then Mr. Jameson's also saying that he runs about 40 to 50 kilometers per week. So that's kind of my average when I'm training like for a half or something. That's usually, or even when I'm not training, 40 to 50, that's my sweet spot. I don't think it's low volume. I mean, if you do that consistently, week after week after week, I think you get pretty fast, your fitness improves with 50K. That's 30 miles a week. What does everyone think? Do you guys think 30 miles? I think everything is relative. But I do think 30 miles a week is a good amount of miles to improve your fitness. Again, if you do it consistently, if that's not your peak, if that's your average, because then you can peak. You could peak at 7K, which is like a 40-mile week, and that's substantial. Okay, so Kim is saying that he rides his bike to get a little bit more of a stronger knee. That's probably a good, unless I wouldn't put, well, the knee can, you can put a lot of pressure on your knee actually when you bike too. You're like standing on the bike, we're going uphill, and you put pressure on the knee. April saying, I've started heart rate training and doing 2 easy slow runs a week, then a race-based run or a race every weekend. Been doing this for 1 week and my heart rate and race pace have both improved a lot. Oh, I'm actually very glad to read that. That's awesome. My heart rate was like towards the end of like when I was running the half marathons, it was getting out of control. Like I could tell I was tired because anything I did would like spike my heart rate. And now it's back to normal. So yeah, like I ran this morning, my 3 miles were like in the easy zone one. So yeah, and I didn't have to walk. I ran all 3. So. Mr. Jemson, okay, so I misread your comment before. Your favorite workout are 2-kilometer repeats or 10 seconds over under goal pace. So see, this is what I picture you would say for some reason. Your peak is only 90K? Well, the only there is what makes my brain explode. 90K is 55 miles. I think I hit 55 miles. So you and I are actually in the same range of kilometers mileage because when I was training for I'm trying to say, when I was training for New York City Marathon, I think I got to like 50 miles, which is like 80. But when I did Hanson's when I did Hal Higdon for Atlantic City Marathon, definitely I reached the 90 kilometers. Yeah, I did 58, 60. Yeah, I did 58 a couple weeks. So Kim is saying he eats hills sitting in the saddle. The bike is such a good cross training, like sport. It complements really well with running, because I think when you are like running, you're very front loaded, like you use your front leg muscles a lot. And when you're on the bike, you have to use the back, like your glutes and your hamstrings a lot more. So it complements, it's sports that complement each other. That's great. So we are same range and same age group for the BQ. Are we? I didn't know that. I thought you were younger than I am. So what is your BQ? Your BQ, if you're my age group, it's like 320, I think, or 330, is it? It's substantially faster obviously for male runners. But I thought you were younger for some reason. I don't have a way of knowing this. It was just a guess. 320. Okay, cool. So do you think you could achieve it, and do you want to try it? Are you planning on trying to qualify for Boston? Is anybody watching curious about qualifying for Boston, or what are you guys like? I'm assuming that this it doesn't have to be the case, but for those of you who are watching this and run, do you have Boston on your bucket list? Is that something that you're interested in? Like, I know my brother qualifying for Boston, for example, he would run Boston, but qualifying for Boston is not something that I mean, if he did, that would be great, but it's not something he's gonna, um, try to accomplish. Okay, so Kim is saying he's going to talk to his doctor before he starts. Well, that's a good, yeah, it's a good practice. I would recommend talking to your doctor always. You're injured, and even if you're not injured, because they can. I mean, when you have your doctor should always know that you're a runner. Like my doctor knows I'm a runner, so that's how we actually managed to learn about my electrolyte imbalance. Because she tends to check electrolytes. I think she checks every other year. I don't think the insurance pays for more than that, more than once every other year. So April is using Peloton, but no standing. Oh, you found out your meniscus tears to the root? Oh, wow. It's not comparable, but my dog actually tore both meniscus. Like the one on her right, she tore her meniscus slightly, and the one on her left, which was afterwards, 2 years later, she tore like the meniscus completely. Like it was like they said it was like disintegrated. When they went in and did the surgery, it was like non-existent. Like yeah. And we don't know how it happened. It's one of those things. She's a very healthy dog otherwise, but she has had surgery in both back legs. So yeah. Do you know how you did it? Like, did anything happen, April, that did you like when it happened, did you know that it was happening? I don't know if it's painful or not, and because they say that in dogs, they told us that our dog probably experienced pain the moment it happened, but then it doesn't hurt afterwards, which is weird. And she wasn't complaining; she was just limping. So she really needed the surgery to recover, to get full range of motion and to be able to walk again. So, okay, so Mr. Jemson's saying he thinks he can achieve it if he puts a decent block. Oh, yeah, the travel is just work. If we didn't have to work, right? We work hard for the money. Yeah. And I can't complain too much because I primarily work from home. Been working from home since 2015. So even when I have traveled, it's not extensive travel, but it sounds like you do travel a lot more than I do. Definitely. Because you're like, and you go like far. Like when I've had to travel for work, I've never had to like go super far. I haven't even been to California with work. So, which is the furthest you can go. Well, April sounds serious. Yeah. Yeah, she's fine now. I mean, she's gone through a lot though. Yeah. And last time she got the meniscus tear, like the big one on her left, they had to put an implant and her body had a reaction to the implant. So she started growing this like lump on her leg. So she had to go through surgery to remove the lump that had grown on top of the implant. So she's gone through major surgery 3 times. My poor baby. Yeah. She hates going to the vet. She knows the drive. So when we put her in the car, she knows exactly which turn we're taking. Yeah, she remembers. So, and she was never afraid of like beeps, like when tracks, like when the garbage truck backs up in our street, it makes beep, beep, beep. That beep, it didn't used to like get her like antsy. With the second surgery, every time she hears that, she wants to like crawl under beds and she's shaking, shaking, shaking. And I think it's because probably when she was coming off of the anesthesia, she was kind of not fully awake. And she was probably hearing that from the machine. The machines in hospitals always have beeps. So I think that's why, because before that she couldn't care less about beeps. So, oh my God. So this is incredible. Tripping over the kid in the restaurant at Disney, then trying to run the marathon 2 days later. Is this when I met you? Is this in this like this year? Or is this the prior year? I think this might have been when I met you. Okay, so your ortho is pretty confident you can heal and not need surgery. Okay, so it's not okay. I don't know how it works in people, human beings. I know in dogs it's tricky. There's not much. I mean, they have to do the surgery, otherwise don't they just don't recover. So yeah. And it's surgeries that are not, number one, they're not cheap, and number two, they're super invasive. So I mean, then they grow the hair again, but when they shaved her, she had like, I don't know how many stitches on both legs, like this, like big stitches. And when they took the lump on the left, again, she had like these huge. And I get upset with that stuff. I don't know why. I really shouldn't. But the third time when they removed the lump, the stitches were kind of like not in a straight line. They were like they tore the skin so much to get the lump that it was like in a zigzag, like not even like a good zigzag. It was like a weird zigzag. And I got so upset. I was like, why don't they like at least but I guess fur grows on top of it, so it's not noticeable at all. Not even if you like move the fur because it's so thick that you don't see it. But I got upset that someone actually, to my poor doggy, they just broke like that, like they just, oh, poor baby. Okay, so it was 2022. Okay. Okay. So you run the marathon and then you did again, although you didn't run the marathon. Now that I'm remembering, you didn't do the marathon in 2023, right? I think you did the half. I'm confused now, but I don't think you did the marathon. Now that I'm like, let it heal naturally. My concern with this, when with like true injuries is like, and I'm not talking about like pulling a muscle or something like that. Yes, that heals naturally. But if there's like a meniscus tear or something major like that, I think a medical professional should stay on top of it just so that it doesn't heal in a way that shouldn't. It's like a bone. If you break a bone, it needs to be like reset and you need to make sure that it's in the correct position. Otherwise, it fuses and it might fuse in a different angle. So you need to make sure that, I don't know how it works with the meniscus stuff, but you're doing the right thing because you went to a doctor and Okay, so you only made it 8.7 miles. Not surprised. Oh man. January 2022. So you did finish it January 2023. Okay. Okay, so then that's what I remember. I'm confused. I'm sorry. I should remember. Sometimes I feel like I should have taken notes because then I can actually remember, like, because I have my notes. But obviously, if you're having a conversation, it's you forget. At least I forget. But sorry about that. I really should remember because, yeah. So, are you gonna go? Is anybody gonna go to anybody who's watching going to marathon weekend? I am. I don't know if you did watch the video where I said that, but I'm doing dopey. And it's a few friends, so we're gonna wear coordinated outfits. And we are going to probably, because it's my 50th birthday, right, a little bit before dopey, we're gonna wear for the expo to pick up our bibs. We're gonna wear coordinated, I don't know, either t-shirts or sweatshirts or something coordinated. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait. So yeah, I can't wait to run Wineglass. I can't wait to do dopey. Yeah, I can't wait for it. I'm such an impatient person. I don't know if this happens to you. Like, I do realize after I run the race that really the part that I enjoy the most is the training. Like, I like the training a lot more than I love running the races. But when I am training, I can't wait to do the race. It's just that after the fact, it's like, oh, like the training gives you a much more bang for your buck, so to speak, because you're training for such a long period of time. You're enjoying, or maybe not, but you have more of an opportunity to have very high highs. Whereas in a race, if you have a bad half marathon, for example, your whole race memories is just totally ruined. So yeah. So Mr. Jemson saying you mentioned that you have subscribers. They're not subscribers. They follow me, but they can't subscribe because they don't have a Oh, you think you found one? Actually, there was during the half marathon in Disney, I used the bathroom. And the good thing about running Disney is that they have porta potties, but if you're running through the parks, you can use the real bathrooms there. So I went inside the real bathroom in Magic Kingdom, and this woman washing her hands next to me, she said, "Oh, I know you have watched your videos. You're Suzie with our thing. So nice to meet you." And I was like, what's your nick? Because I like your nickname, because I wanted to mention her. She was like, I don't have a nick. I'm not subscribed. I don't have a so she was one of them. But if you don't have a YouTube login, you can't subscribe. You can't comment, you can't subscribe. Some people, if you have a login, you can be subscribed but not comment. That's a different thing. And that's people's choice. It's not, there's nothing wrong with it. But I didn't realize that there were, I get intuitively, I knew it. But again, because I've had a couple emails lately of people saying, I watch all your videos. Like this was, I watch all your videos, but I'm not subscribed because I don't have a YouTube. Yeah, I mean, I think it's awesome that they are letting me know that they watch all my videos. It's fantastic. I love getting feedback from people. So Alan is from Ireland. We're in Ireland, Dublin or some other. I've never been to Ireland. So I've been to 22 countries, I think, in the world. Never made it to Ireland. April thought we were talking about her meniscus. I'm on my third orthopedist. The other said I would have to stop running and need surgery. Found one that will help me heal and keep naturally. Yeah, and keep running. Right. That's awesome. And I think you can always find the issues that you spend time, and not always you have all the time in the world. Sometimes you're in pain and you have to get it resolved. But you can find a professional that can help you the way that you want to be helped. It's just that, like, I have a coworker of mine, he has pain in his back and he has herniated disc. They told him surgery, but he's trying to find a professional that can help him without the surgery. But he's in so much pain. I don't know. Not always you have the ability to find someone who's going to help you. Again, doing the things that he doesn't want to go through surgery, and I don't blame him. No. Alan is saying just joining in sounds like the right time. The Disney runs is a bucket list item. I highly recommend them for anybody, even for people who are not runners. Do it because it's super inclusive in the sense that there's all kinds of people running it. Young people. I mean, there's a minimum age. I don't think they take people who are like, you can't run a marathon, you're 12 years old, for example. But they take people like you can sign up if you're like young, like you can be 15, 16, maybe even younger. And so they're very inclusive. You can be as old as you want, as young as you want, and you can have any kind of body type. You know, like the cutoff time, the pace is pretty. I mean, you can do it. You can walk fast and finish the marathon. So I think they're super inclusive and they're fun, and you can run in a costume, and 80% of the people run in a costume. So it's just like a big Halloween party, but in Disney and running. So yeah, they're a lot of fun. So I would highly encourage you to do it. They sell out so quickly. April saying, I really wish I could be there. I might fly down to cheer. You're not running more than 5Ks until Dumbo. Yeah, and you shouldn't. I agree. But if you could go down to cheer, yeah, that would be awesome. We're most definitely gonna do a meetup, and this year we're gonna do a meetup. I'll probably do 2 meetups because last year, because of when I flew in, I did the meetup on when did I do the meetup? Friday. Yeah, we did it Friday, and we did it at the boardwalk. I'd probably choose the boardwalk again, probably for Friday for people who arrive later. People who are doing dopey, I'll have a meetup on Wednesday when everybody's picking up the bib because it's more convenient. If you're doing dopey, you're getting the bib on Wednesday. You have to. So, Mr. Jemson, that subscriber who's a subscriber not commenting is from Singapore. His wife has a YouTube running channel. Juice runs the world. I'm subscribed to Juice actually. Yeah, she has really good videos. I like her. Yeah, I don't watch like I consume. So here's my problem. I consume a lot of YouTube, but because I consume a lot of YouTube, I don't watch. There's only a few channels that I watch every time. So I watch Juice runs the world, but not every single time. So. Wicklow, south of Dublin, known as the Garden of Ireland. I'm not familiar with Wicklow. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that the right way. Probably not. Wicklow. I really want to go to Ireland. Like I have it on my bucket list. Yeah, eventually. So my husband and I want to buy property in Madrid, which is where I'm from. My husband is from New Jersey. I'm from Madrid, Spain. So eventually we want to buy property there and just spend as much time as we can in Madrid. Stay working, but we both really are working remote for the most part. So it doesn't really matter where we are as long as you don't overstay. Like we could not stay a full year in Spain, for example. We would have to keep going back and forth. But we could do it. His husband's name is Stephen Andy George Bala. Ooh. And they're in Singapore. Singapore, I have Singapore on my bucket list too. Like I have so many places on my bucket list. Yeah. And Singapore is one of them. So, but if I were to like pick a race to run that I had like a guaranteed, like they would pay for my trip and I could do the trip and run and everything, I would do Petra half marathon in Jordan. That would be my one because you run through the desert and then you end in Petra, and I think that has to be so like incredibly. I don't know. And if I had to do a marathon, I would like to do the Myanmar. Is it Myanmar? I think it's Myanmar marathon, the one that goes to all the temples in Myanmar. I think it's Myanmar marathon, and they run through the temples. So that's if I had to do a full marathon. And again, someone came and said we're paying for everything. That's the one that I would want to do. You love Irish accent. Me too, actually. We were watching a show recently. Oh God, which show? What? And I kept saying, I love this accent. And then finally, my husband, I said it so often. My husband was like, it's Irish. So he enlightened me. It was like, I love this accent. Like, yeah. The Boardwalk was a great place to meet up. Oh, so your husband works for SeaWorld. That's really interesting. That's pretty cool. SeaWorld, where's the corporate, like the hub of SeaWorld? Is it in Florida? Because you don't live in Florida. That I know that. I'm just curious. I've never been to SeaWorld. And I don't know. They own other parks, right? It's not just SeaWorld. I think they own other things. So I might have been in a park that is owned by SeaWorld. Oh, I will celebrate 50 years young in a few years. I'm turning 50 this year, Alan. So Disney runs may be a 50th birthday present to myself. That's my present to myself for my 50th. I'm doing Dopey. I would want to do all the runs. Is that the Dopey Challenge? So the Dopey Challenge is January. It's the first weekend, full weekend in January. So this year is, I think it's 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, whatever. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thursday 5K, Friday 10K, Saturday the half, and Sunday the full. So yes, it's back to back all four distances. They have a marathon at Petra. They have a half. I don't think there's a full marathon, but they do have a half. It's organized by oh God, it's Albatross Marathon. Yeah, I think it's called Albatross Marathon. It's a very famous. They have other halves and marathons around the world. So yeah, they do have. There's a Petra half marathon. So SeaWorld is in Orlando. Okay. Yeah. So I've never been in Orlando. All the only parks I've been in Orlando. Well, I've been to the Disney parks and then I've been to Universal. Busch Gardens and Aquatica. Oh, you can get me into SeaWorld for my birthday. That would be awesome. So I've been to Busch Gardens. I've been to the one in Virginia actually last year. Like that's around the corner from you. Yeah, I was there with my son last year. Yes, last year. So my son's marching band, they took them to there's a parade. It's called the Parade of Nations. It's a military parade, but they participate in the Parade of Nations in Norfolk, Virginia. And then because we took the marching band kids, then we actually performed in another theater, like the jazz bands and symphonic winds performed as well in this big theater in Norfolk. And then we went to Busch Gardens. So it was like a 4-day trip. It was super nice. And then we stopped in Virginia Beach on the way back. It was super nice. And I was a chaperone. So I was a chaperone all 4 years of my son's marching band. Yeah. And the last two, even during COVID, I was the marching band uniform mom. So it was a lot of work. Yeah. I would like work 40 hours, run and exercise like 8, and then work on the weekends because it's really like a full time. I mean, I would put another 20 during marching band season. It would be another 20 hours. Yeah, being like standing and like making sure the uniforms are clean and safe and everybody has everything that they need. Yeah. They own Discovery Cove too. I didn't know that. I need to do some research on that. I love amusement parks. Like that's my jam. Like since I was a little girl, I've always like loved amusement parks. I just googled Pet Shop. They have the full and the half. Oh, I didn't think they had a full. So then I would do the full marathon because running through the desert has to be one out of body experience. Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm interested in the full. See? John, question. Any strategy for Boulder? I've never run it. Not a terribly fast runner, but this is the first time running 5,300 feet above sea level. My recommendation would be to train in altitude. But if you can't be there, it's hard to run. I've run in Denver. Like I've been there a couple times for work, and when I had to run there, it was just, yeah, it's it's an impact to your system. It takes you a while to get used to the altitude. I went for a run. So last year I was there 4 days for work. I ran the first day and I had a headache, and it was because I was running in altitude. I think the oxygen. Yeah, I had a minor headache pretty much the whole time I was there. Yeah, and it wouldn't go away. I think it was the pressure like in my brain. Yeah, so I know there are gyms that have the pressure, like they have treadmills in this cabin pressure. I don't know where you live. I don't think there's any close to, they're probably in big cities, but I don't know. Are you going for time? I think if you are not able to train in altitude, I would not go for time, to be honest. I would just go to enjoy it. It's a great race, but there's people, so here's what I would recommend. You can go on YouTube and Google, like not Google, on YouTube, just search for boulder vlogs, and then whoever, like ask in those videos and see if someone can give you tips, because I haven't done it. I don't know. I'm sorry, but I can't give them. Alan has done 4 marathons, all of them in Dublin. I have recently started trail running and hope to travel to the races when possible. Where would you suggest to go for trail running? There's phenomenal trail running in Spain has phenomenal trail running. So if you're interested in that, the Canary Islands have just amazing trail running. Amazing. Any race in the Canary Islands is just incredible. The Gran Canaria, the Trans Canaria, that's like super. But I think you have to be in like really, really good shape to do any of them, because there's like a change in they're like they go super high and then down at sea level. So it takes a toll on the body, obviously. Yeah. I don't know. If you want to travel for like road races, obviously the United States has great road races. Yeah. Like if you want to do marathons, obviously the big ones. New York City is super hard to get in, but it's just an unbelievable experience. I did it in 2021, and I can't wait to do it again. Like I would do it again tomorrow. They call me and they say, "Do you want to run it tomorrow?" I'd run it tomorrow. It's an incredible race. So, but if you want to do trail, I think the Canary Islands have awesome trail running. And I had the Trans Canaria is on my bucket list, actually. Well, next time you are in Williamsburg, let me know. I don't go, I have to be honest, I don't go that often. I've been once in Williamsburg. Yeah. So the Busch Gardens we went to was the one in Williamsburg. I thought it was like a really nice, it was so beautiful. Like it reminded me a lot of Epcot, but not as like Epcot has a lot of like big empty spaces, and Williamsburg has like these tiny little sort of streets and like lots of flowers and like, yeah, like the France section and the Italy section and the German section. They're like so neat, like so well thought out, and like it looks like you're there, like you're in those countries. It's really, really nice. So I love Busch Gardens in Williamsburg. Irish caveman in the desert. I think it's hard. I mean, it's probably really hard to run in the desert. John is saying not going for time for Boulder. Okay, my message just jumped. Going just to finish and for the sleep and slides, trampolines and bands. I've heard it's a great race, but I would try and talk to someone who's run it. The fact that I'm even doing this after the massive weight drop is amazing. Well, yeah, my brother actually can attest. I don't know if he's still on, but he lost a lot of weight too, and run helps him get there. Yeah, so I mean, I think losing weight for anybody, not even if you have a lot to lose, it's hard for everybody. Like I wouldn't mind losing 10 pounds, to be honest. I would run faster and I would still be like keep my muscle mass and but I just, how do I lose 10 pounds? Like you have to be so determined and so focused, and the more you have to lose, obviously the more determined you have to be. So kudos to you. It's not easy. Alan, so you watched the vlog on the race you mentioned. Pretty cool. John, oh wow, you must be super fast. He's close to qualifying for 2024 in New York City, which I think it's much faster than Boston if you want to qualify. 7 races down, 2 to go, and already did my volunteer. I cannot wait. So you are in New York City. Okay, so you're doing the 9+1. I did 9+1 to get to 2021. I did 9+1 in 2020, which we all know all races got canceled. So so it was great because they offered the opportunity to either return the money or keep the money, and they would give you your 9+1. So they gave me a 9+1. So I paid, I think they're not too expensive. So I think I paid $400, and then they give you the guaranteed entry for the following year. So thank you very much. It all starts upstairs with respect to massive weight loss. Yeah. It starts upstairs, and I would make a case that it ends upstairs, like, because the last 5 pounds are the hardest to lose. Because your body knows what you're doing, and then it's like, I don't want to give this away. You have to work so much harder for the last 5. Yeah, that's always the case. I mean, our body's like holding on to things, not to everything, but to to fat and weight, because that's our survival. So Andrew, he's from the UK. He says, sorry, I'm late joining. No worries. I'm only going to be online 8 more minutes. So, but yeah, thank you for, for coming. There's no need to apologize for being late. So yeah, so here's what's going to happen with this channel. So starting next week, starting from today, Monday, I'm going to publish a video that's kind of in between. It's a vlog, but it's not a weekly vlog, because I want to start publishing the weekly vlogs 1 week delayed. Reason for that is that because my weekly vlogs are always Monday through Sunday. Sometimes I'm like struggling to finish editing that Sunday to be able to publish on Monday. Because I publish in 4K, it takes forever to render the video, upload to YouTube, and then YouTube to fully publish it in 4K takes like something like six hours sometimes. And if there's something wrong with the video, sometimes there's like a copyright or something that I can't foresee there's going to be a copyright, then I have to take it down, edit that portion of the video, and then upload it again. So it's like restarting those, and then it could be another 8 hours. So I'm not as stressed. I am going to push everything 1 week. So this week I'm recording, I'm going to do a weekly vlog, but it's not going to go up this Monday. It's going to go up the following Monday. So they're always going to be a week delayed. That's the number 1 reason. The second reason is that usually the last week when you're tapering for a big race, there's not much content that you can create that week. So it's going to be good, because then I can just post, I ran the race, and then Monday I can post the video from the race. So there wouldn't be a video covering that last taper week. I hope that makes sense. But there's not that much that I talk about in a taper week anyway. So yes. So all my weekly vlogs, if you follow me on Strava, you're going to see me putting runs that are not going to be sort of appear on the channel till the following Monday. Just because of that, because I want to have a little bit of a buffer to edit videos so that I'm not so rushed. Because sometimes on like Sunday, we're doing something as a family, doing something with my husband. We go to friends or family or something. And I'm just like I edit everything on my phone, and I'm on the phone, like trying to finish editing. And it's just like, yeah, I get very stressed because the video needs to be fully edited and go up that night, so that for sure I know that it can be able to, launch on YouTube, that everybody can see it on YouTube with no copyright issues Monday at 12 p.m. So it takes a lot to edit videos, guys. I was thinking about doing a video just on how I like film and edit, because it's a whole process, and the more technology gets, like, I can appreciate people who do heavy editing of their videos because I know everything that goes into it. And I would say I'm kind of middle of the road when I'm editing. There's people who definitely don't do a lot of editing, and there's people who do like heavy editing. For me, recently I started getting into like doing more B-roll, and like because I think B-roll adds a lot to the video. But then every single little clip of B-roll, you have to put them together and then put the music underneath, and then there's like a fade off and a fading of the music, and so all of that adds up to the editing hours. So yeah, so this Monday you're gonna see a video. It's just, I hope you like it. It's just a little bit. It's about running too. It's not nothing. I'm not changing topics, but it's not a weekly vlog. Even though I just started this week training for Wineglass. So B-roll is very important. Yes, and there's people who do so. I mean, like Kafuzi, for example, the big Kafuzi. He has like his B-roll, especially in vlogs. It's so like beyond. And you have to think about it. You know, when you're taking B-roll, you have to take the clips. There's no way of doing that after the fact. So if you're vlogging something, you're talking to the camera, you need to plan in your head, okay, I need to take B-roll of this and this and this. Like I want to take me opening the door, me getting in the car, me putting the keys in the ignition, like all those things. You need to think about that. And you have to be in that mindset, and not always it's easy. Like if you're pressed for time for a race, for example, in the morning, and you're going like, oh, like sometimes I have like, this has happened to me. Like I have B-roll for like a little bit, and then I can't use that B-roll because there's no more B-roll after that. And it just looks weird in the video. So I have to jump to like, I'm at the race. So yeah, it's a whole other. How long on average do I take for editing? So when I do head videos, like just me talking heads, as they're called in the YouTube world, if it's a talking head, those don't take a lot. There's a lot of like thinking about and scripting and all that. That takes long. But then you just get in front of the camera, control the lighting and everything, and just film. And editing those doesn't take long. So it could take 2 hours. But a weekly vlog takes a long time. So actually what I do is, I don't have my camera, but as I am filming on my X3, my Insta360, I download pretty often, like every day. I download all the footage I have, and then I figure out how I want to clip it. And then I edit on my phone. I'm constantly editing on the phone. So I probably edit, how I would say maybe 45 minutes in between like transferring from the X3 into my phone and then editing. It's probably 45 minutes a day. But then once Sunday rolls around, I just have to make sure that everything is like in sync, that the volume is the same, which is not that easy because sometimes the volume in one clip is like 100 and then another clip is like 500. So you need to make them all like standard. Sometimes you need to reduce noise, like to use the noise reduction, and that takes longer to render the video. So there's it's a lot for a weekly vlog. Probably overall, it's probably like 6 hours. I wouldn't be surprised. I've never actually like added everything, but it's probably 6 hours. And then once you have the whole clip together, I upload it to YouTube, and then on the YouTube side, that takes another 6 hours to be fully ready to watch on YouTube. It takes just to like the clip that I have, just to put it on YouTube, there's like a pre-processing. Just that pre-processing is probably 20 minutes. And then once it finishes pre-processing, then it goes like in the background, you can see YouTube looping for a good 2 hours. And then every step processing, so it does 720p, and then it does 1080p, and then it does 4K. Every one of those little things, and it goes 360 first. So it's 360, 720. Every one of those takes a couple hours. So by the time it's 4K, which is when you can actually watch it on the TV screen and with like 5D and everything, again, it's 6 hours. So, and sometimes I have to take it down because there's something wrong. Like it triggers some weird flag from YouTube, because I always publish them first as unlisted, and then it would tell me, like, YouTube will say, your video has a copyright issue, and it tells you in which second and like minute, it tells you exactly where it is. So then I have to go and like sometimes take the whole video down and start the whole process again. So, and if that happens, it's like you should hear me like how much I curse and like, yeah, it's ugly. Yeah. Hi, Isabel. I hope you're well. The Quebec Marathon in October is a must. I am training for these events. Oh wow, Quebec Marathon in October. It's probably cold already, right? This year I'm doing Wineglass in October, so I don't think I can take another marathon. I'm not gonna run anything. Like I've been running a lot of these like the first 5 months of the year. I'm just gonna run Wineglass. If I run something, guys, it's gonna be a full surprise and it's gonna be slow as an easy run. You know, if someone gives me a bit or something, I would take it, but I would treat it as a training run. I would not race anything. I'm just gonna focus 100% on Wineglass. Andrew's saying, don't bother with 4K. 1080p, yes, is enough for good quality in YouTube. I know a lot of people just do the 1080p. However, in all honesty, my data proves it to me that 4K is better. Like what I see behind, like when I have done videos, because from time to time I just put one on 1080p and see how it does. But since I've been posting 4K, the videos, like the people stay watching longer than when it's only 1080p. And I think it's because I get more people actually blowing it up on the big screen. Like you can see that behind the scenes on YouTube Creator, and I can see that there's more people just blowing the video, watching it on the TV. So, and if they watch on the TV, people who watch on the TV watch like a lot longer than people who watch on a like on the phone or on tablet. So frame rate is higher at 1080p. Huh. Well, it's 60. You have it in 60, right? 60 frames per minute. I will look into it though, because maybe, I mean, you could be right, and I could be doing it wrong. Because if that's the case, then it's 2 hours less to upload it up there, and obviously less gigabytes on my phone. And I need a new phone though, because I'm like giving it a really hard life with all this editing and everything. I used to edit on my Mac, and my phone does everything. And yeah, so I don't use my Mac anymore to edit. I was a lot more limited, and it would take me longer to do videos on the Mac. Oh, thank you, John. Thanks for being here. Okay, guys, so this is it. We're gonna make it a habit. So I think it's every third Saturday of the month, we're gonna be doing a live. Or is it every second Saturday? I don't know, but if this was the second Saturday, it will be the second Saturday of June. If this was the third, we'll do the third. Like we will keep it like the same. We'll be consistent with it so that we can chat and communicate, and we can learn more about each other, because I love reading. Like I love it. There's people who might not comment on a regular video. They come to the live stream and then they chat. I love that. I was also thinking about maybe doing a Zoom call. That would need a lot of other considerations. We would need to have like a sign up list and stuff like that. But maybe it'll be worth it. I mean, if it's only 12 of us, we can do a Zoom call. Because right now we have 12 people. So we could totally do a Zoom call. If we have 30 people, then it's not manageable. With 12, we could. Or with 10, like that's the amount of people who come to the live stream. So maybe it's something we should consider. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks, everybody. I'm gonna log off, and happy running. Enjoy your weekend.